Attending another day at COP28, which is being hosted at Expo 2020 in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. And this whole week while I've been in Dubai, outside of meeting so many amazing people, some of them from South Africa, some of them from other parts of the African continent. I need to give a shout out to Antonio. Antonio works in media. He is based in Cape Town. He introduced me to James as well. I met them at the DMCC building. If you ever see a huge building in Dubai written DMCC, they were operating from there. There were a lot of conversations around business, not just in Dubai, but around the world. So I met up with him. I'm going to be doing work with him in Cape Town as well next year. I met up with Edson and his amazing wife, Hannah. They hosted me. They cooked me some delicious, delicious Ethiopian, authentic Ethiopian cuisine. Edson is from Gabon, which is a French-speaking nation. Hannah is from Ethiopia. And they met in South Africa, the beautiful South Africa, where yours truly hails from. They do business in South Africa, they do business in Ethiopia, they do business in Gabon, they do business in Dubai because they are based in Dubai as well. We spoke about so many amazing business ideas, how we are responsible for uplifting and empowering and liberating Africa as well. And then there are so many other people that I've met physically in the streets. People are like, hey, you're Penuel the Black Pen. And I'm like, oh snap, in Dubai, boy. When I posted my social media stuff, a lot of people send me DMs. They're based in Dubai, they're working here. They're from South Africa, some are from Tanzania, some are from Nigeria, many parts of Africa who are like, we moved here because we wanted to make money, because we wanted to be plugged into the world. Spoken before with Vusi Tembewai, who does business here. I've spoken before with Gray Chabesi, who does business here. I've spoken before with Tutuzane Zuma, who's done business here. Yesterday, I met the Sultan, Ahmed bin Sulaim, who is the chairman of the DMCC and the whole free trade zone, which apparently has over 24,000 companies. People from around the world are coming to set up companies here because it is easy to do business here. I just found out the wealthiest man in India, I think it's Nassef Sawiris. The Sawiris family is extremely wealthy in the northern part of Africa. I believe the Mansours are also somewhere there. But they've just moved their family office from Egypt to Abu Dhabi, which is actually the capital of the United Arab Emirates. There are people moving to the Middle East because it is almost the center of the world. It is easy to connect with Europe, with America, with Asia from here as well. So many people are looking into doing business here. But there are many people that are just coming here to trade and skills. So in meeting all of these people, in engaging with them and speaking to them, the conversations is very much about awakening and unlocking Africa, number one. Number two, the other most sad conversation is the leadership that is letting Africa down. It is something that I speak about on a regular basis to a point where obviously it sounds like I'm complaining and I'm whining, but I'm doing it because I need you guys to understand how dire the situation is. And I'm hoping that some of you will wake up and become the leadership that we need. Africa as a continent is extremely wealthy. We have got amazing commodities. We power the world. We have uranium, which does nuclear energy. We have gas. We have oil. We have coal. We have gold. We have copper, we have got platinum, we have got lithium, we have got cobalt. We have got so many mineral resources on the African continent that if we were to close Africa, the rest of the world would not function. Africa is the wealthiest continent on the planet in terms of commodities. Number two, Africa's got some of the most beautiful landscapes. Just South Africa, where I come from, if you look at Cape Town, if you look at Durban, if you look at the Drakensberg Mountains, you look at the mountains in Mpumalanga, then you look at the wild animals, you look at the game farms in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, in the northwest. You look at some of the parts of the Eastern Cape, the mountainous areas there. You look at obviously Table Mountain and the coast in Cape Town. You look at the warm, stunning Durban. And as you move up the coast as well, South Africa is stunning. Then you go into the rest of Africa, places like Kenya, places like Tanzania. You've got parts of Angola, you've got parts of Nigeria. There are beautiful spaces. The landscape is stunning. The weather is absolutely amazing. Africa is paradise. When we speak about Eden, we are speaking about Africa. Then you meet the people, which I believe are the most underused resource. The real gold, the real diamonds of Africa are the people. The music in Africa today still powers the world. You look at Afro beats, you look at Amapiano, the dance styles that are constantly, Chris Brown, Ciara, Beyonce, all of them are still borrowing from Africa our amazing dance moves. The creativity in terms of art, the creativity in terms of ideas, the beauty of the people If you look at the women from South Africa, if you look at the women from Angola, from Mozambique, look at the women from Ethiopia, look at the women from Rwanda, look at women from Ghana, beautiful, stunning women. Never mind the north when you get to Tunisia and Morocco and Egypt. Stunning, stunning, beautiful people, hopeful people, happy people, friendly people. Africa is an amazing space. But the problem currently is that the rest of the world, the West, which is mostly the United States of America and Western Europe, Germany, the United Kingdom, and then you look at parts of Asia, China, India, etc. They do not see Africa for Africans. They see it for the landscape, of course. Then they see it for the mineral resources. And they see Africa as this space where they just, it's like a farm where they just go and fish things, or a mine where they go and fish things, but they are not reinvesting in that space. It's almost like planting on a fertile piece of soil, planting, harvesting, and then draining the soil of everything it has and then leaving it bare so that it erodes and it becomes nothing, barren. That's what Africa is today. Please understand, when people speak about the beauty of Africa around the world, they are not speaking about me and you. They don't care about me and you. We are just labor for them. How can we use these people for cheap to mine, to farm, to build for us? They want to come here and exploit, well, not here, I mean Dubai and the UAE. They want to come to Africa and they want to exploit the beauty. They set up the game farms. They set up the casinos. They set up all these other nice tourist destinations for their own people. It is not for Africans. Your political leaders who are meant to then represent you are not representing you. You come to places like COP28, you go to places like the World Economic Forum in Davos, you go to places like the UN gatherings. Your leaders are not there for you. They are not there to say, Africans want to actually have a voice about their continent. We would like you guys, when you come to Africa, to ask for permission. May we please come to Africa? And when we come to Africa, we will not come and set up independent businesses. You will have to partner with Africans. Places like Tanzania, apparently, if you're not a local, you cannot own land there because they understand the importance of this land belongs to the people. I believe in places like here in the Emirates, the United Arab Emirates, the people here get to have land. I believe you can have a lease, you can partner with people, etc., but it is their land. They have control over it. We do not have that in Africa or in many parts of Africa. And I've got issues, obviously, with the nationalization of land argument in South Africa because of these leaders I'm speaking about. In these conversations, you listen to African leaders in the way they speak, trying to find opportunities for themselves and their families. And yes, I'm speaking about people like Cyril Ramaphosa and his in-laws in South Africa and his business stakeholders. How can we make money? Give us money for renewables so we can benefit and our companies can make money, then we'll help you. If someone else is saying, look, we'll give you money for nuclear or we'll give you money for coal, sure, as long as we benefit. But they're not putting Africans and South Africans first. There is no political leader in South Africa, in my opinion, whether you look to the kings, whether you look to the politicians, whether you look to the business leaders who are saying, I will work for South Africans. I want to see South Africans competing with the best in the world. I want South Africans to have the best skills. I want South Africans to have the best opportunities. If there's one nation I see in South Africa, well, there's actually three in particular. I see the Muslims in South Africa, but they look out for Muslims. They want Muslims in South Africa to have the best maths marks, the best science marks, to build the greatest businesses in South Africa and in the world. I see the same thing with Jewish people based in South Africa. They want their children to be global stars in business, in academia, and other spaces. I see Afrikaans people in South Africa doing amazing things for their people. They build institutions to say Afrikaners must go to Japan and take over Toyota, must go to Amsterdam and go and enlist Naspers there, must go to America and go and run Afgri from there. They are doing that. But as for the people, the majority of the people in South Africa, in particular the black people, I do not see people representing them who go to these platforms and say, we are looking for Zulus, Xhosas, Chitsongas, Bavendas, Batswanas, Musutus in South Africa, Amaswati, Amandebele. We're looking for them and our coloreds and our Afrikaners and our Indians and our whoever. We want them to be world leaders. So when you come to South Africa, we're not just going to tell you about the beaches and the scenery. Oh, you watch people dancing. We're telling you, come here because we've got the best minds. You want someone to help ignite your business? You want someone to help you scale? We've got those people. And on the panel show, I'm unearthing some of these people. Vusi Thembekwayo, Miles Berger, of course, people like Tutuzani Zuma, people like Miranda Ntshangase, people like Nonhlanhla Manganyi, people like Zimasa Vabaza, people like Mpho Takada, people like Sandile Shezi, people like Ernst van Sale, people like Dr. Susan Mpofu-Walsh, young South Africans who can compete globally. Globally, you can put them, the World Economic Forum, you can put them at the UN, you can put them at COP, you can put them anywhere, and they can out-argue, out-debate, and out-master, and outsmart and outclass anyone that you can bring globally. And these are the people that are meant to be running our countries. But unfortunately in Africa, it is hungry, greedy people. And that's why you've got coups. One of the conversations this week has been the coups. Mali, Gabon, Burkina Faso, Niger. The coups, because the young people, they are tired of old people only looking out for their interests. And when they sit with Americans, when they sit with the Germans, when they sit with the British, when they sit with the Chinese, the Koreans, when they sit with the Japanese, when they sit with the Russians, they are saying, you can come and exploit my country. But what is in it for me and my family? We want to be rich. We want to eat. We don't want to do much work. We don't want to build anything. We don't really want the skills. You can bring the skills and your companies and your machinery. We will remove the red tape. We will make life easier for you. And we will open up our tax money to give to you. We will give you whatever land you want. But then we must get a cut. We want to sit on the board. We want to get free money. We don't need you to upskill our people. We don't need you to build and develop our spaces. So that's one of the conversations we're having. It's one of the conversations you need to be having in your home. Are you and your family sitting down and building a family plan for the future? What does it look like? What does it look like? Are you and your community building a plan for the future? We need to be discussing renewable energy, solar, wind, and other, biofuel. We need to be discussing nuclear energy, uranium. We need to be discussing the abundance of coal that we have. We have uranium, we have gas, we have oil. Mozambique, Angola, Namibia, going down that belt into the Eastern Cape, going up the coast. We have got resources to power Africa. We have got resources to power the world. But we need the right minds who, when they sit in these platforms, as I'm at COP28, I'm not here for myself. I'm not here to be like, how can I chow money? How can I get involved so I can open a gap for people to exploit South Africa? I'm not here for that. I'm saying South Africans are capable. If you want to come and make money in South Africa, open up your country as well. Let's have an exchange. I want to also come and set up a business here in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in Hong Kong, in London, in New York, in Los Angeles, in Tokyo, in Seoul. I want to come set up businesses there in Beijing, in Shanghai, in Mumbai, in New Delhi. Open up your country for me as well. If you're coming to set up a business in South Africa, allow me to come set up a business in your home. And there at your home, I'm also going to use your people as cheap labor as you're using my people. And at the same time, I'm going to reinvest in your people if and only if you are reinvesting and upskilling my people. Otherwise, this is an exploitive relationship. You are not here to actually build me. You are here to take from me. Africa becomes a prostitute for the world, and the pimp is your political leaders. And this needs to change. We need to wake up. We need to have these conversations, and we need to put in the work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work. We need to wake up. While we're dancing and singing, let's export our talents to the world and bring in foreign currencies. Let's bring in dollars, euros, pounds, yen, yuan, etc. Let's bring in that foreign currency. And then let's build for ourselves. If you want to be working with Germans, Italians, Swiss, Spanish, American, Chinese, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Sri Lankan, Russian people in South Africa, you're like, give me skills. Otherwise, you're treating me like a sex worker. And we're not in a mutual relationship here. And we're tired of you guys raping our continent. Africa needs to rise. And it starts with people like me. It starts with people like you. We need to wake up, and everywhere we go, we must know who we're representing and why. And then back home, for the rest of you guys, you must also not be fucking up. You guys must rise with us. And when we bring the opportunities, you must seize them with both hands and you must build. To all the Africans in diaspora, I hope you guys are acquiring skills. I hope you guys are acquiring information, opportunities, and you're sending it home and you're going home to build. Dubai is nothing short of a miracle. If you ever get a chance to come here, as expensive as this city is, look at what has been built from a desert. It's like Las Vegas in Nevada and what was built there. This is the blueprint of what Africa can achieve with the right type of leadership. Not democracy. Not this thing of sitting and debating and arguing and policies and bullshit. Vision. This is what we're trying to build. These are the leaders that are going to do it. This is our timeline. Let's execute. Do we need money? Do we need skills? Do we need to import some? And if we're importing, make sure that there are locals that are learning. And let's build and let's move and let's track. And if you're not meeting your targets, move, get out. Bring someone else who is capable in to come and build the type of Africa that we need and that the world needs. Realistically, the world, outside of the leaders who are corrupt, the world is waiting for Africa to rise because they know we've got so many unique ideas, Wakanda, Avatar, that are going to ignite the world. Not just in music and dance and entertainment, but in business. What unique ideas, M-Pesa, can Africa come up with? What unique ideas of music and the arts and building? Eco-friendly, what type of medicines can Africa come up with? What type of transport systems can Africa come up with that is futuristic, that is beautiful, that incorporates birds, that incorporates donkeys and horses and elephants and giraffe and lions? How can we take the lion and incorporate it into business? How can we create eco-friendly structures that can maybe morph and move like Legos? How can we use the earth? How can we use music and sound to do business, to motivate sales forces, and? How do we bring Africa to the world? How do we bring the world to Africa? And how do we integrate into an amazing future? That is why people like myself are here. Not to come and look for cheap business opportunities for myself and become rich by myself, but for you. I use my platforms for you. And if some of you are hardworking and pushing, I'm working very hard in the background to connect as many people as possible. As many people as possible that have a vision to build Africa, to build South Africa. And I'm excited for the future, and I hope you are too. And if you're buzzing like I'm buzzing, if you're putting in amazing work, if you've got a great business, if you have people that are visionary, futuristic, that have traveled the world, that have the resources, the skills, the energy, let's come together. Not on social media, because these platforms obviously are not for our benefit, but in the background, in my DMs, on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on WeChat. Sometimes we meet face to face. Some of the people I mentioned, we're meeting with them and we're looking for opportunities, and we want to not just make money here and enjoy them here on a yacht, to take them back home, to turn Africa into Wakanda, to turn Africa into portions of what our ancestors lived like. Avatar, eco-friendly spaces where we are riding wild animals and we're living with them and they're living healthily and we're not exploiting them. And we're living in beauty where we're showing our bodies and we're unashamed. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. But we're doing trade, and we're doing good trade and healthy trade and moral trade, and we are developing with each other. That is the future that I'm looking for. Want to send a shout out to everyone who sponsors my videos. I'm not going to give a shout out to anyone specifically today, but you guys know yourselves. If you look at some of my other videos that are sponsored, to all the people that are doing amazing work, we will unite. I will make sure we unite in various ways. I will use my platforms to speak life into your business and your initiatives and your ideas. And we will do our bit to advance the agenda of the African continent in collaboration with other parts of the world that are conducive and that are not looking to exploit us for their own personal gain. Penuel the black pen, Penuel pen elimnyama, Penuel the swart pen, Penuel pen ensu. Love you guys very much, and I'll catch up with you guys again soon. Cheers.